This is Jim, and I live in Texas. Well, the purpose of this video is to sort of explain and expand on the comment I left on Bilma's video last night. It's the 1st of September 2009 today. Bilma posted an excellent video that I watched yesterday on the history of the Ninja 250. Well, I have a Ninja 250, so I was real interested in that. He did a great job. Unfortunately, I'm having some problems with my Ninja 250, and I had just watched a 9/11 conspiracy show where the conspiracy people always make me mad. I was tired, it was late at night, I've been real busy at work. So I posted a comment on his video, and I don't have the comment right in front of me, but basically it was like this: Bilma, great video, I love the Ninja 250, but my Ninja 250 is broken, I don't work, I don't know what to figure out, poor me, poor me, poor me. That was the comment on Bilma's video. I watched it again this morning, and I read it again this morning. I just cringed in embarrassment, and I almost deleted it, but I says no. The only thing less manly than that comment would be deleting it after lots of people have seen it, and I know lots of people have seen it because offers to help have poured in. Trina and Tracy and Bilma and several others have offered to come help me with my problem. Well, what is this problem, Jim, you say, you, my single fan? Well, my problem is this. We got to go back about 3 weeks. On a Sunday, I rode to the health camp in Waco from Austin, a distance of about 90 miles, although I rode with some friends on the back roads. Health camp's a little 1949 diner, hasn't changed since 49 except for the prices in Waco. So we had nice burgers there. I met Michael Hickman, a very famous Ninja 250 owner who's ridden tens of thousands of miles on his long distance Ninja 250. So that was a thrill meeting Michael. So anyway, I decided to ride, most of the guys were going to ride the Twisties back, but I was kind of in a hurry, so I said I'd come straight back down on the interstate. I'm riding back down on the interstate on this, and it's 104 degrees. It's in the afternoon on a really hot month here in Texas in August. And I'm going about 70 to 75, around holding about 9,000 RPM, and I look at the temperature gauge, and it's pegged all the way. The needle is bending on the hot side. So, oh my God. So I didn't want to get killed on the side of the road, so I sort of coasted and scooted it to the next exit, which wasn't very far, which was in Georgetown, Texas. Pulled over, make a long story short, it was a Sunday, so there was no maintenance available. So I just had it towed home. Progressive, I had to pay an extra 40 bucks because Progressive only tows me like 20 miles, and it was 25 miles or something like that. So that was a disappointment. So I get home, there's no basically water in the system. I look over the bike, and right here, there is a place for a bolt to hold this radiator hose in place. This bolt is missing. I'll put a picture, a still picture I took of it in there so you can see it, but there's one 8mm bolt there had come out. And although the little fitting was still tight, I think it let all the water escape out on that 104-degree drive back. Driving up there, it was fine, but that must have happened on the way back from Waco. So what I do, I flushed out the radiator system, I refilled it, started it up, seemed to run fine. I rode it around town a few days, ran fine. So a week ago, this last weekend, not the weekend of the 30th, but the prior weekend, my wife was real busy that weekend, so I decided to ride the bike to Rockport, Texas. Hello, this is Jim, and I live in Texas. And today is August 22nd, Saturday, 2009. And I'm fixing to leave for Rockport, Texas. That's 210 miles or so from my house. I have a rent house there, a furnished rent house, and when it's not rented, I can spend the night there. So I did. I rode to Port Aransas, which is a kind of a resort town. It's only about 10 miles away. Well, this is Jim, and I live in Texas, and I am fixing to ride over to from Rockport to the little tourist town of Port Aransas. Had a great time in Port Aransas. Ate a really wonderful hamburger, rode the ferry. Came back to check the bike over. There was still water in it. It had run fine. I was happy. I felt like, okay, you know, I dodged a bullet. The bike is running great. It'll still run 9,000 to 10,000 with me on it, going in 70 plus. So I'm driving back, and at about the 60 to 70 mile point, I see the temperature going up. About 80 miles, it's almost to the red line. Fortunately, about then, the Walmart in Cuero, Texas appeared. I bought radiator fluid, filled it up, drove another 80 miles, filled it up again because I'd kept some of the radiator fluid in the water bottles. Got home, looked at it more closely, couldn't find any visible leaks. After consultation and reading the books and thinking about it, I think I warped the head of this, and I've got water going into the cylinder, into the internals of the engine, out of the water jacket, into the engine due to a warped cylinder head. I'm pretty upset about this. I didn't pay a whole lot for this bike to begin with. I don't think I am up to the mechanical job of replacing the cylinder head. There's used ones on eBay that might work. I'm going to take it to the local independent mechanic here in the next couple of days. If he can fix it for $500 or less, $500, I'll just fix it and I'll ride on for a while. If not, I may part it out, or I don't know what I'll do with it. I'm very, very upset. I really miss my Ninja. I bought this thinking I would only ride it for like 3 or 4 months, like a lot of people do. They ride it just long enough to get. I said, well, I might not. I like the idea of motorcycles, but I wasn't sure about the reality, so I'll buy this small inexpensive bike, and then if I like riding motorcycles, I'll get a bigger bike. I'll know what kind of bike I really want, because if you haven't ridden, you don't know what kind of bike you really want. You don't know whether you want a cruiser or a sport bike or sport touring or a dirt bike or what. You don't know. So it had been 25 years since I've ridden, so I was basically starting over from zero. Well, I've ridden this all over Texas. From very long rides, including a 1,000-mile iron butt ride. I've really enjoyed riding it, and I have not been in any hurry to get a new bike. I'm kind of saving up for a large sport touring bike, but the plan has always been to keep this. I couldn't get a whole lot if I sold it, because I mean, I beat it up pretty good. It was not very pretty to begin with. I broke a tab here on the fairing, which causes a hassle. So I was just going to keep this forever, and someday get another bike to go with it. Well, I don't know what to do now. We'll see what the mechanic says. If he says it's significantly more than $500 to fix, then I'll bring it home and either I'll take one of these guys up and one of the friends who offered to help me, maybe try to fix it myself, or maybe just sell it as is. It runs fine. You can drive it 90, 95 miles an hour if you want, and just sell it and just disclose there's this problem, and somebody who is mechanically minded could buy it, fix it with eBay parts, and have a really nice ride for very little money. I don't really know. If I buy a new bike this soon, because it's sooner than I planned on, I have a boat in Rockport that I hardly ever use, I'm going to have to sell. It's going to be a hassle, but mainly I'm just very sad because I miss riding. I miss this bike a lot, and I just hope I can get on the road again one of these days. This is Jim. I live in Texas. I'm sorry for the pity party, and I don't even know if I'll post this, but maybe I will. You're my friends. I consider the vlog community to be my friends, and I really am down about this. And in the big scheme of things, I admit, there's people who, poor Steve Jobs had to have a liver transplant. Blowing the head on your Ninja 250 is nothing compared to that. I'm very blessed to have this bike, to live in Texas, and to have a job. In fact, I have 2 jobs, which is a blessing, I guess, and although I wonder sometimes. But anyway, enough pity. I'm sorry for the self-pity, but I'm just getting it out of my system. If nothing else, this will explain to my fan why I haven't posted very many videos lately. This is Jim. I live in Texas, and one of these days I'll be riding motorcycles again. Okay, I'm in Finn's bar and ice house in Port Aransas, Texas. It's a very nice Texan place. You see they know how to make a hamburger, and look at the iced tea. That is the way we make iced teas correctly served in Texas, unsweetened of course. And lots of people have been having a good time all day here in Port Aransas. I love this. I love Port Aransas, and this is one of my favorite restaurants. They're so laid back. They're not rushed. You got a beautiful view of the little harbor of Port Aransas. Just a lot to like about it. A lot to like. Finn's, Port Aransas, Texas. Highly recommend it.